Have you noticed things are a bit off lately? You can't trust your neighbours. The birds aren't singing. The streets are filthy. Nothing is beautiful. No one cares anymore. No one takes any pride in their work. Crikey, this is exactly what the algorithm has been feeding me of late. What about you? It has an effect on me. When all I see is bucket half empty, that's kind of how I start to feel. I've also allowed YouTube to kind of steer me in a particular direction because the videos that do the best, that get promoted the most often, are the ones that have the most negative titles. So then I feel encouraged to do more doomsday-ish kind of things than normal, and then I feel more doomsday-ish than normal. Ultimately, I want my channel to succeed, so views does feel important to me. But what I'd really rather put out into the world is positive. Life is not always rainbows and unicorns, of course it's not, but I have more blessings in my life than I deserve. So if you take the time out to watch my videos, I'd love you to come away feeling like you know how to do something different that you didn't know before, that you're uplifted in some way, or that you're understood, knowing that you're not the only frugal weirdo on the island, or just that your curiosity for how someone else lives has been satisfied. The world has problems neither you nor I can solve, but good deeds each day in our own backyard all add up. So here's my video as planned, what I got up to over the past couple of days. Enjoy. So I got up early this morning ready to use my new bike trailer. I had taken it out for a little test yesterday just up and down the road, and then it turned out that my bike tyre was completely flat. And I've tried to repair it just now, and I pumped that up and it's come down again, so I obviously haven't fixed it, so I'm going to have to give that some more thought. The AA today has told us all, fill up your car because petrol prices are just going to increase again. So I've used our cash that we had allocated for petrol and we've filled up the car. It came to $160. Oh my goodness, this cost of living crisis, honestly, it's not even a crisis I guess anymore, it's just a way of life, but it does get tiresome. So more motivation than ever to get the bike sorted. So I'm going to have to do that now. Okay, so I see the problem. You will too. I've missed the hole when I've put on the patch, bugger it. I only have one more patch as well, but at least now I know where it is, and that'll explain it, and that there's not another hole, so that's at least a good thing. So I'll have another go at that. I've had the most horrendous cold, and I've had a few days off work actually. So the next day I had to get onto this job because I can't not have a bike. And I actually learnt something this time. So using that glue, I always used to just stick the patch straight on it. But I had to get a new little kit. And inside the kit there were some instructions. And the instructions said let the glue dry first so it's not tacky anymore, and then put the patch on. So that's what I did, and that was new, and it worked really well. The other thing that I always forget when I'm doing a patch is, should it be the orange side down or should it be the black side down? It is the orange side, but the instructions also reminded me of that. So I've kept them, which is not my normal style. Normally I'm like, I don't need instructions, I can just figure this out. But I muck it up. Up until about 2 years ago, I had never even fixed a hole in a bike tire. I would have taken this to a bike shop to get fixed, which I know sounds really ridiculous, but it's only since I've embraced a more frugal way of life that I think, why would I do that? That's insane. So the kit cost about $15, and I've got lots of patches now, and I've got this good patch. I put on a patch that was way bigger than the hole just because I'd mucked it up twice, hadn't I? I'd mucked it up the first time, then I tried to put another patch over top of that one, and that didn't work. So I thought, well, rather than going back for a third time to just try and put a tiny patch on it, I'll use one of the bigger patches and see how that works. It's quite hard getting the tyre back on, I find. So I always give it a pump up first and check to see that it's actually going to stay. And I go into the garage the next morning once I've fixed it all, and yes, it is perfect. So, yay, I fixed the tyre. I prefer the warmth rather than the cold, but I live in Otautahi, Christchurch, New Zealand, and we get some really hard frosts and it is chilly. So I've been out this morning into the garden also just to check on the veggies. I've got some great broccoli and cauliflower growing, which I'm really excited about. Those aren't things I have normally grown well. My broccoli and cauliflower sometimes go to seed. But the best thing about a cold, frosty morning is that you're guaranteed to have a beautiful blue sky day. So every cloud has its silver lining, right? Taking care of animals is one of life's simple pleasures, I think. And here's our dog thinking that he's a cat, sitting on the back of the couch in the sunshine, watching out the window, seeing what's happening in the street. I opened my front door and I found these lovely straw flowers there waiting for me. How nice is that? I have a neighbour who comes over and just drops her old, she has a great garden and at the moment is just dropping over broccoli leaves, so she'll chop out her broccoli and then drop the leaves over to the chickens. And I think it might be her who's dropped me these beautiful flowers. So I'm going to tie them up and dry them actually in the lounge because I love straw flowers when they're dried. They're on their way. Beautiful, hey? And there they are, hanging up in my lounge to dry. I just absolutely love the green and the pink against the blue wall. And even as I'm sitting here doing this voiceover, I'm admiring how they look in the sunshine. And I just put these random videos in because one of the things I have recently had fed to me was there's no beauty in the world. There's nothing beautiful made beautifully anymore. And I'm lucky enough to live in a very old house. So there are lots of beautiful features here. And I just thought I would take a few videos for you guys and show you some of them. Because I think living somewhere beautiful where someone did something to make it as nice as they could rather than as cheap as they could actually really helps me feel good about the world. Hey, gorgeous chickens. We recently had a house sitter and she locked them out of this little coop where they lay their eggs. So they've gotten out of the habit of laying them where they used to. But luckily, I've kind of got them back into the right space at least, if not the right room. Now, this is a real concern for us, having the avian bird flu in New Zealand now. We've been lucky we have escaped it. So we're having to do a few things differently. And one of those things has been just to take away the water at night time. And then when I'm filling it up, I'm only filling it up kind of halfway. So that a big bird like a chicken can get their neck in there and get the water, but little wild birds can't perch on the side and drink from it. So I'm just trying to discourage wild birds really from being around the chickens. I'm not going to lock them up. My husband and I have decided that if that was a temporary measure, we would do it. But if it's, if bird flu is going to be here all the time, it's not yet in the South Island that we know of, but if it's going to be here all the time, then we're not willing to keep birds penned up in a cage all the time. That wouldn't seem like the right thing to us. So we're just going to have to play that a bit by ear. We might change our minds. I don't know, but for now, that's what we're thinking. This is a really typical breakfast for me. I've got bread there. It's Pak'nSave special bread. So I would have got that for $2 for a loaf because I buy day-old bread to save money. I don't like using margarine. So one thing I always kind of splash out on is butter. And butter is super expensive in New Zealand if you're watching this from out of town. We can be looking anywhere between $8 and $10 for a block of butter, 500 grams. So I'm just going to have Vegemite, or Marmite actually it is, Marmite on toast. I do one sweet and one savoury, so I have one Marmite and one honey. And I'm pretty much happy to have that every single morning. And that's enough for me for brekkie. I don't know, are you guys Marmite people or Vegemite people? I used to think I was a Vegemite person, and then I did some house sitting and became a Marmite person. We've got some people coming over for dinner tonight, so I'm trying to get a little bit organised and get a few things just in the fridge ready to go so that when they arrive, I don't have to be doing food prep. I normally spend a couple of hours doing this if we're going to have people over. We were meant to have more people come, but One of the couples decided not to come because I am still a wee bit sick. I'm not deathly ill anymore. I definitely feel that I'm on the mend, but I am not 100% by any stretch of the imagination. Neither my husband nor I, adore cooking. So when we have people over, we try and do something that's as easy as possible, and that often is a barbecue. So that's what we're doing tonight. We'll do burgers, and that's what I'm doing these onion rings for, so my husband can pop them on the barbecue and they can go on a burger. So we'll have burgers, we'll have sausages, we'll have some roast veggies, we'll have some salad. What else will we have? I've got marshmallows. There's my roast veggies ready to go. The yams and the carrots are from the garden. The potatoes are bought. We'll do some eggs on the barbecue as well. There's all the bread rolls. Oh, they're not bread rolls, they're burger buns, proper burger buns, but again, on sale for $2. And a couple of cheesy garlic loaves. The salad is what I already said. Then for pudding, I'll get onto that soon. You'll see me making that. I also have some pre-cooked sausages, but the mince and the sausages, so that's the mince for the patties, taking a long time to defrost because it's cold today. So the fire's going in the lounge and the windows are open. Even though I've got plenty to do, I noticed this book in the lounge. My husband's just been out to the library, and this is a book I ordered ages ago, and it's come in. And I thought, even though I should be tidying this room, ready for people to come over, or getting that dessert ready, instead, I'll sit down for a moment and have a little flick through this book. And there's a couple of magazines, and I had a look through a magazine as well. I'm closer to 50 than I am 49, and perhaps that's my motivation for this book. So I'm back into the kitchen. I didn't spend too much time. I'm going to be making a banoffee pie for dessert. I also have marshmallows, and we'll do them on an outside fire. There are kids coming, so that's always fun to do with them. But I want to get in and do the banoffee pie nice and early so it has time to set. I've already done the base, and that's sitting in the freezer while I make the caramel middle. But I'm not 100% sure it's got enough butter if it's going to be a bit crumbly. But I guess I won't know until I go to cut it up. So if you have never made a banoffee pie, it's really easy and super delicious. Obviously with a tin of condensed milk in there, you know it's not going to get very many stars as far as health ratings go. But it is really nice. We wouldn't eat a whole banoffee pie in one night. It's so sweet that you do only really need a little bit. I actually really enjoy the process of making caramel. It's a new thing that I've only learned how to do in the last year. Before that, I always thought you had to buy caramel for a banoffee pie. So it's kind of fun to learn, just a tiny new skill, something new to me. And every time I do it, I kind of feel like, yeah, I nailed it. A little bit like fixing the bike tire. You assign more gravitas to these things when you can't do them. They seem like they must be something really hard because otherwise you would have already done it for sure. And that's kind of the same for me with caramel as well as the bike tire. Just seemed like something that was really hard. So yeah, here I am. The caramel's on, the banana's going on, the cream's on top now, and it's just going into the fridge to wait till dessert time. The fridge is pretty stocked. I've done everything that I can apart from make the salad in order to get ready for these folks coming over this evening. That's pretty much it for me now. I need to go and have a quick shower, get changed, tidy up a wee bit, and then we'll be ready to kick back, relax, and have some fun with our friends. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye for now.